Hey guys, what's going on? It's me Aiden again with another Maplestory commentary slash gameplay. And as you can see in the background, I was on my Mercedes going through basically Nexon's recreation of the old Maplestory. For the most part, it was the same, but there was those minor things here and there that were missing or just weren't the same. But overall, I think Nexon did a good job, and really reminded me of the old times. Back in the day. You know what I mean? I can't really pin down the exact time, but you know what I mean. But yeah, I remember back in the day, I had a warrior, and I remember it took me so long to level, man. This is like 2005, 2006, probably late 2005 probably. It took me so long to level, and then if I finally go through all this Maple Island, doing all this other stuff, and then when I get to level 20, I'm like, damn, wild boars, here we go. And I had to train there from level 20 to 40, man. That took ages, literally of hardcore grinding. It took me a month and a half to get to level 40. I didn't play hardcore. I probably played a decent amount of time, but not 24 hours a day or something. But a pretty long time. You guys know what I mean. Yeah, and it was pretty. I guess you could say you take it for granted. I mean, back then you say, oh, Maplestory sucked, but for the most part, I kind of want it back. You're always thinking, yeah, at the time in 2005, I'm like, man, training is so slow, but it's so much more fun because back then you had the social aspect of it. It was so much more fun than compared to now, because Nexon completely completely taken out the social aspect of this game, and yeah. Yeah, and I remember back then, I remember back then when I played in Barrows, 2006, I would just go to Slime Tree, and man, I would just train there for ages. This is on my Fire and Poison Mage, and I'd stay there for a very long time. And then after that, when I got to level 30, 35 or something, I would just train at Horny Mushrooms and Green Mushrooms, and that took ages. And also at the same time, I'd always be trying to find a pan lid at Green Mushrooms. Pan lids, those were the shit. Those were the shit back in the day, man. Everybody wanted a freaking pan lid, man. And I spent ages looking for it. 2 hours. I'm like, damn, where's that pan lid? And it would never come. But I eventually got it after 5 hours of searching, and that was it. It was very tedious and long, but then again, at the same time, it was kind of fun. And another thing I miss about the old Maplestory is when you used to, you go on the Orbis boat, to from Alinea to Orbis, and you sit there, you're like, wow, man, this is gonna take a very, very long time to get to Orbis. But then you sit there and you just talk to other people. It just seems so much more fun. And I remember I had to stay inside to check if there wasn't any Crimson Balrog, man. I was so scared. I was sometimes I used to just walk. I used to just randomly out of pure curiosity, I just walked out one time, and then 2 Balrogs just absolutely demolished me, man. Right at the bottom, where there's the top, and you go inside the cabin, the bottom. Yeah, I went there. And the 2 Balrogs just dominated me, man. And then one time I just really, really, really want to see the whole action of someone owning the Balrog, which usually happened most rides. And then I'll just get on my thief. I would make a thief, and then I'll just go out there and get all the action back, because most likely since you have Dark Side on, you won't get hit. And it was a pretty fun experience, just watching that. And then the old Maples, like I said, the social aspect back then was so much more fun. It's not as prominent nowadays. Obviously, it's still there, but not as prominent. I think Nexon took away a lot of the old things in the old Maplestory that it's kind of changed the game for better or worse, depending on your opinion. I have an opinion, but I better not say it. Actually, yeah, I will say. I reckon the new Maple is good for leveling and stuff, but that's just about it. It's much easier now. But the fact that the old Maple was a lot more social. But then and it was a lot more social and a lot more fun overall. Maplestory is not as fun nowadays. But even though the Maplestory now is not as fun, because to be honest, I don't, in my opinion, is not as fun. But I know this may sound strange, considering I might be just contradicting myself. But I prefer the new Maple because, to be honest, the new Maple is a lot more high tech, I guess you could say, and it's just a lot more easier to level. And yeah, I know like it sounds a bit, I'm contradicting myself considering I just said before that I was more fond of the old Maple, but no, I'll take that back. I kind of like the new Maple a lot better because it's a lot more easier to level and it's a lot more easier to do things. But the one thing I miss about the one thing I want back from the old Maple is that I prefer the social aspect, and hopefully next time we'll do something about it in the future to improve the game and for the better, because eventually if you have the social aspect of the game that is implemented into this game like it was a very, very long time ago, I think not only will it entice more players to play the game, but it will also encourage like former players who have quit or done whatever to come back and play, which will obviously make the game a lot more successful and fun, because depending on your playing style, a lot of people, less people, but for me, I prefer a lot more people around me, because it increases that chance of increasing the social aspect of the game and making just things a lot more fun. But wow, I was supposed to mainly talk about the old Maple, but I ended up talking about the difference between the old Maple and the new Maple. But yeah, you know what I mean, guys. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Anyway, guys, comment, like, subscribe if you enjoy this video, and I'll be seeing you guys next time. Peace.